Hi ladies, Sally here again from Sally Bonnie Fibre and Art. I'm going to go through the wool that you've got in your package, plus just showing you a couple of others just to try and help make sense of what it is that you've got. So there's many varieties of wool fleece and animal fibres. I mean, it's not just sheep wool that you can use all fleece for needle felting. Each has got a different quality. The wool is prepared in different ways for needle felting and wet felting use. So I'm just going to go through the varieties that you've got in your pack so you understand them. And I actually think this is the best part of the craft for me. Who doesn't want to kind of hold and feel this softness, and it's just lovely. So I buy UK wool as much as possible, and I buy what I can locally here in Cumbria. It's not always easy though, and yarn is much more available. Again, I don't get commission, but I find World of Wool very good, and you can buy small amounts, and you can buy mixed bags, which is great when you're first starting out, so you get little bits of each colour. So what I've got in my hand is core wool. And you use core wool for the base of things that are to be covered, so like your heads and your bodies of animals. And it's this wool, it's been washed, but it's not been what's called carded, and I'll come on to that in a minute. It's much coarser in texture, although this batch feels really lovely actually. It comes from mixed sheep breeds and it varies from batch to batch. So when you buy core wool, like sometimes you can get core wool in different colours. This one here, it's called a herbal core wool. You've got that in your pack as well, and I'll describe that when I talk about carded wool. Okay, so it's been washed, it's not been carded. It's a much coarser in texture, as I've just said, although this feels lovely. Now, you don't have to use core wool. You can use carded wool, or you can even use polyester batting, and that's the stuffing that you get in pillars. But I prefer natural fibres every time, and I'm trying to develop a sustainable practice. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand, but it's up to you what you want to use. So I was just talking about carded and wool bats, etc. So I'm just going to show you. So these are wool bats. This is one you don't have in your pack, but you do have this, and you do have this. Okay, so I'm going to use all of these to describe. So wool bats, also known as carded wool. The fleece is washed and it's teased out and it's carded onto bats, which are really large, thick sheets of wool. So the fibre goes in lots of different directions. It can be easily broken. You can take handfuls of this off. So it can come in big sheets. I mean, this one I bought, it was about 50 centimetres by 50 centimetres. I got it for like a seaside picture I was doing. So they tend to fold these, they fold them up, and that's how you get them, through the post. So that's your wool bats. So they also, though, they do a different kind, which is they call slithers. So if I show you this one, so it's done the same, it's carded, but these carded slivers, they are done in strips of about 5 to 5 centimetre width. So, you can use them both in a similar way, but I find these slithers great for if you're rolling, and if you don't want to use the core wool, these are great for doing little heads and things, or little tails for rabbits, So that's them. Now they actually come on a roll that kind of looks like that. So a bit different to that, but they're exactly the same kind of wool. So that's your slithers and your carded wool. Okay, So I'll put them to one side. So the next three I'm going to show you. Now these are all the same type of wool. These are beautiful. I mean, just feel those. So you can see how these are different from the carded, and these are called wool tops. And what I've sent you are from a particular sheep. They're merino. So some of you may have heard that. I mean, merino wool jumpers are beautiful. So that's this wool that you're going to be using. So it's been washed and combed, but all the fibres go in the same direction. Tops normally come in long lengths wrapped into a ball. So this beautiful yellow that I thought would be lovely for our spring fairy or angel, whatever you want to call her. That's how that comes in a big ball like that. And I love this. I love this for making hair. Because you can plait it, you can roll it up into a bun, and it looks beautiful. And I love these for this one particular for covering and making a face. I don't tend to put features like eyes and a mouth and a nose when I do these angels, because I think they look quite nice without, but this is beautiful to cover over the face. And then these for the outer of the dress, because you can manipulate and make these whisper. And what I'm going to be showing you, which is one of the easiest earth angels, is like this wispy angel, and you can make wings like that as well. So these are the wool tops. So the tops, and please don't worry if you're like, oh flipping heck, Sally, I'm getting all confused here. There will be information in the maker's booklet, and you can watch this as many times. But honestly, when we start using the wool and you start doing the needle felting, it will be a lot easier. I just felt that I should be doing this because these were things that I learned when I started. So the roving, or the tops, can also be known as roving. And again, that's wool that's been washed and carded. But in that process, again, it's about, this wool goes in the same direction. Now, this that I have, this, it's an example of the, let me think, it's the Andean mountain wool. So it's got a really lovely feel, but it does feel, if you feel the merino, when I do that, I feel the merino and I feel the Andean mountain wool. They are quite different, but that's just because they're the different varieties of wool. So if you hear people talking about roving and tops, they're the same. Okay, ladies, so you also have in your pack these lovely bright fibres, and these are wool and silk fibres. So they're recycled sari silk and wool tops blended. So if you feel those, they are beautiful. They are tops. If you remember, in tops, everything's going in the same direction. So I'll be showing you when we're making these how to take them off and work with them. I love using these for creating flowers. I thought they might make some nice like meadow flowers, like little bluebells and hyacinths, or like poking up out of the ground. So they can be tricky, but with a little bit of effort they can produce really lovely work. So these varieties are Lagoon and Wildflower, so we're going to be using those. And I have experimented with these with hair, so kind of making hair with these. So if you're into all the different coloured hair, and what's really great about tops is that you can blend colours. So again, I'll show you some of that when we're actually making. So the only other thing, it was a little bit of an addition, and I've popped some into your pack. I make heirloom dolls, and I was looking, doing research on stuffing, and I came across this, which actually looks very much like a wool or cotton. It's got a very silky kind of feel. It's called kapok fibre, and it's actually from a tree. So it's a lot more environmentally friendly than using polyester fibre, and it's a lot cheaper than using a wool blend. I'll use like wool waste, which is like tiny little nibs of wool, but I love this because it's very moldable. So I've been experimenting with this as well, that when I make the angels and I want to do the chest, I've been playing around with just creating shape with that. So I'll send some of this in the pack for you because I think it might be a good experiment, and it's incredibly cheap. Again, I got that from Wilderwool, this like huge bag of it. So that's that. So I think that's everything in terms of the wool. Just don't go crazy like I've done and my room is just full of it, but that's what happens. Oh, actually, no, I forgot about these. So let me tell you about these, and again we can go into more detail. So these are varieties of the wool that I've just talked about. You will see there's a lovely shiny sari silk there, there's some carded wool there, I think there's even a little bit of tops there. So I put these on a skewer, a barbecue skewer. So, you know, just a piece of wool, I wind it round the barbecue skewer, and then I dampen them, and I have a colander, and I just stick the barbecue sticks in the colander so they're kind of all sticking out. I guess if you'd had a bit of foam or a bit of blue tack or something like that, you could do the same. I think maybe even lent up, as long as the air gets around them. Now, if you're not in a hurry, leave them for a few days. You can dry them with the hairdryer if you need them to be quick, but I find drying these naturally, you get a much better look. So these are great for if you go on to do figurines where you want to do curly hair, maybe a curly ponytail. If you want to do, I have these sheep that rather than using the white wool or creating like hair, we go a bit mad and, you know, use all different colours. So they're very versatile. It's great if you can learn how to make these yourself, because you can buy these. They tend to come in very small bags and are very expensive. So I'm all for trying to make craft a bit cheaper. So I hope that was okay for you ladies, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.